Hello, my name is Teresa Lowell, and I'm here today with.
Hi, I'm Caleb Anderson and I'm a junior.
Um, Today I'll be interviewing Caleb about my solutionary project, which is called Rags to Bags. Caleb, you were one of the first recipients of a bag. How would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 5?
I would rate the bag a 3 on the scale just because I feel like there are some improvements um that can be improved and that are needed. And it's just that the bag it's good, but I just feel like it's not good enough.
How would you say that we could improve the bag?
I would say some ways that you guys can improve the bag is for first of all, make it bigger because if you guys are trying if you guys are trying to decrease whatever you guys are is your topic, I think having bigger bags would help create a more of a bigger impact because the more of I believe it's shirts that you guys use, the more shirts you guys use for these bags and the bigger it is, the more you guys are helping to reduce as well as making it more beneficial for people because the smaller the bag is, you don't really have a lot of space, but whereas when it's bigger, you have much more room to store much more things.
Um, how many days per week would you say that you have used this bag?
I would say I use it once or twice per week.
Okay. And what would you typically hold in this bag?
So usually I typically hold the groceries I buy with my parents from the supermarket or the grocery store. Or it's either when I go to the beach, so I'll store like all my essentials for the beach, so like towels, sunscreen, glasses, food, water. And then also I just store it for like regular stuff or like when I'm on the go, like some extra clothes, my hoodies, books, my laptop, writing utensils, like pencil cases.
Mhm. What would you say your biggest issue or complaint is with this bag?
I think my biggest issue is that it's just small because when
Hmm.
for the beach, when I was trying to store it, so like I had like two sodas, some crackers, and my towels, I couldn't fit all three towels. I could only fit two. And then when I had to, I barely had enough room to even add in my soda or my crackers. So I feel like the biggest problem I had with the bag was it's just that it was not big enough for my liking.
Well, thank you for your feedback on that. Um, Changing gears to focus on the broader issue of textile waste. Did you know that 92 million tons of textile waste is produced each year, and in the US, 66% of all discarded clothes end up in a landfill?
I actually did not know that. So that's very wonderful to know because that actually shows why you guys are doing this topic.
Sorry. Why do you think so many clothes go into a landfill?
I think so many clothes go into a landfill is just because when people are donating old clothes, old shoes, and just like everything in general, some of the things that people donate, they're just so worn out and torn out. So they're not really usable and they're not really suitable for thrift shoppers or for stores and for like donation places too. So since they have nowhere else to go, I think that's probably why they all end up as textile waste inside a landfill area.
Mhm, mhm. Um, you personally, what do you do with your old clothes?
For me, I personally donate my old clothes, but then at the same time, I try to reuse everything that I can because I know clothing nowadays is expensive, so I try to make the most out of my clothing. But I mostly just end up giving it away or passing it on to my little my cousins because
Mhm,
they reuse the same sizes as me for when they're growing up and stuff.
mhm. How often would you say that you get new clothes?
I would say I often get new clothes at least once or twice a week because for me I have a very specific type of clothing style that I like to shop for and like so like for me I'm like baggy and oversized, so there are places where I shop at like the malls, so there are places in the malls that do have the things that I'm looking for, and so I just like to keep going back there every week to see if they have anything new or if they have any bigger sizes, and so anything to my liking I buy. So that's probably why I shop a lot mostly.
So, going back to the project, based on what you've seen, um, do you think that this is a viable way to reduce textile waste?
I think it is because with what you guys are doing, you guys are taking old clothes that were like not in good condition, and you guys turn it into these bags. And I think it's really helpful that you made these bags too, because you're helping the environment at the same time, because we've all heard of the phrase reuse, reduce, recycle. And so it's just that with these bags and what you guys are doing with the clothes, it really does help decrease and create more of an impact with decreasing and reducing textile waste.
Can you think of any other ways that old clothes can be recycled or reused once they become too worn out to be donated?
I think old clothes can be used in many ways. So, like for example, you can use old clothes to like create even like new like I don't know like new like actual clothing too. Like new clothing does not have to look nice, and new clothing can be any kind of clothing. So you can technically just reuse your like a shirt and maybe even like a skirt, and that you can make that a dress, for example. But then you can also like use your old clothing to patch up any holes that you have in your house or in your umbrellas. You can even probably make an umbrella out of your old clothes. And you can also use your old clothes as well to even make blankets, for picnics or a beach. Because I've seen that a lot in movies too, where people have those like reusable blankets and stuff. So I think that's also a way that you can use like old and donated clothes.
Issues do you think we as a community can focus on to reduce textile waste?
I think an issue you guys can focus on in reducing textile waste is trying to, instead of buying new clothes, to more focus on the clothes you already have, and to like trying to stop buying. Because I feel like for when we buy clothes, we don't use them 100%. And so we get tired, like for new clothes, we might get tired of them very early, and we might not just use them often. So I think it's just the problem with it is just that people aren't using their clothes to their fullest. Like for me, I've had this shirt for years and I've been reusing it all the time. So that's the way I help reduce textile waste. But then if you look at other people who shop like almost like every week, or just like always keep buying new clothes, they're not gonna keep reusing those same clothes if they buy it. So that's what's the issue that the people and you and Anna should focus on, is trying to make people have the mindset to continue using their old clothes instead of trying to buy new ones.
Going along with that, I think another important part of reducing textile waste is repairing the clothes that you have. Like many people throw out the clothes once it develops even a small rip, or maybe a button falls off or the zipper breaks. But I think that these clothing can be repaired to make it last long, and feel like companies need to work on improving the quality of the clothes so that they last longer. Well, thank you for your feedback today, Caleb, and thank you for coming to this interview. Um, I hope that you continue to use this bag after this project is ended. So, thank you.
Oh, yes, thank you for having me, and I love answering your questions, and I think I will be continuing to use your